right, guys, and welcome to another edition of Just a Couple Guys Talking Football. Unfortunately, Tate could not join us again. There's a pretty big fire. I was reading about a massive fire in Denver that is requiring all the firefighters kind of in the area to be a part of that. So I think that's where he is currently. We're hoping everybody's safe and everything like that. So, and Happy New Year to everybody out there as well. We're going to talk a little bit about the two games that happened yesterday, first off, and then we're going to go right into the picks for these upcoming games today. And then maybe talk a little bit about some of the coaching carousel, but we'll see. I just might mention that amongst the picks. But let's talk right away about the games that happened yesterday. Of course, I was wrong on both accounts. The only thing I had right was the Carolina Panthers covering. So the one thing that I want to kind of point out is what I saw in that game, both games yesterday, is the teams that ran the football well won the games. Okay, Tampa Bay committed to the run, knew the weather was bad, and ended up taking care of that game 16-14. I'll be honest with you, Tampa Bay, you should feel lucky that Carolina gave you the ball a couple times when they inexplicably shouldn't have. That pitch back from Rico Dotto was ill-advised. I would think at the time Rico could not get his footing whatsoever. He was slipping. He threw the ball was already up in the air. Of course, nobody seemed to really want to take care of business and jump on it from the Panthers side. But I got to be honest with you, that the main thing that I saw was neither one of these teams felt like they wanted to win this game. Neither one. I mean, I know the weather was bad. I get it. And then Carolina, really, the flea flicker and this bad of weather, I just don't know if it was the right time to empty the clip, if you will, on gadget plays for this game. The Tampa Bay, you could have probably just run them out and eventually just beat them without the gadget plays. Their defense allows that. Look at what happened. I mean, look at how many times Tampa Bay tried to give away the game yesterday and the Carolina Panthers didn't want to take it. Hence why I said I just don't think that either team really felt like they wanted to win this game. But at the end of the day, Tampa Bay won. They technically are waiting to see what happens the Atlanta Falcon game and the New Orleans Saints game, because if the Atlanta Falcons end up winning that game, Carolina Panthers will win the division via conference record. If not, if the New Orleans Saints win, then the Buccaneers have punched their ticket. They will be the number 4 seed, and they will host a playoff game, most likely against the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, either one is going to probably face the Rams, as long as the Rams take care of business today. So we'll see about that. Overall, it's a one and done for either one of these teams, if you really ask me. I mean, I'm sure they'll give maybe the Rams some fits, but not that many. Whatever team rolls in there, whether it's the Rams or the 49ers, I guess, I think will definitely take care of business with either one of those teams. Now, let's get down to the point of the game last night. 13-3 Seattle victory. Couple points I want to take away from this game. Number one, things I was impressed with Seattle. Running the football. Their running game has really been established. Kenneth Walker, that 3rd and 17 Kenneth Walker run was unbelievable. Number one, from Kenneth Walker's side, because he just kept cutting and moving, and he got that first down. The other thing that was unbelievable and fun to watch was John Lynch's reaction to it. If anybody saw that, he basically put his hands to his head and was screaming inside the box. And I don't blame him, because I was kind of flabbergasted on how you could let a team that's basically just saying, like, give me a few more yards and I'm okay to punt, and you let them get all 17. If not, I think they got 19 on that play. So impressive running game from the Seattle Seahawks. Impressive defense from the Seattle Seahawks. The awesome, great San Francisco 49ers had convinced myself, too, that they were going to win this game because of all their decisive victories, got only 172 yards of total offense yesterday. That, my friends, is impressive. Impressive victory that the Seattle Seahawks. My hat is tipped to you, Seattle Seahawks. I didn't think that, the way you were playing was going to... I thought San Francisco's offense was going to find and click like they have been. Now, let's talk about the things that I wasn't so impressed with. San Francisco. The one thing about that offense You got to kind of have Christian McCaffrey running. Giving Christian McCaffrey 8 rushes in a 13-3 game doesn't seem like it was probably the right idea. If any kind of, I just don't understand what the premise was. I get it. You like to pass a lot, Kyle, but I think that, and I know it's tough to run against the Seattle defense, but you got to get some more stuff going. Christian McCaffrey, especially on that first drive of the second half, had a couple good runs going, and it just didn't, they shut him down a couple times, but I think you just got to keep letting him go. I mean, he's got to get at least double-digit carries. I know he got double-digit touches because of the pass-catching ability, but 8 attempts for 23 yards is nothing. Nothing that's going to win the San Francisco 49ers anything in the playoffs, okay? Now, I will say San Francisco's defense, impressive to give up all those points to Chicago's offense and then to come here and just let Seattle just do 13. Okay, they play pretty tough. They get banged up again a little bit more. That's the point that scares me. I know that they emptied it for this one game. Will they be able to continually empty the clip on defense this whole playoff run? I don't know. The defense still scares me, but a very good step in the right direction yesterday to hold the Seattle Seahawks to 13 points. Now, let's get to the reverse side of the Seattle Seahawks, the things that do concern me a little bit. Seattle, your running game was on point yesterday. I get it. That's why you probably didn't need to pass a lot. 13 points. I mean, I guess if you're going to win games 13-10, 13-3, sure. This explosive offense needs to come back a little bit. And it didn't find its way against Kyle Shanahan because I think that's what, Kyle Shanahan kind of knows the ways to kind of keep it in. Plus, like I said, and we all know the run game was working great. Need to see a little bit more explosive stuff, but they've got a week to take a break. The road goes through Seattle right now. Congratulations. Like I said, I think it was a very impressive win overall, especially from the defensive side on what you did to that high-powered San Francisco offense is something that like I said, I tip my hat to. So good job out there, Seattle Seahawks, number 1 seed. And then San Francisco, you're waiting to find out if the Rams lose, you will be the 5 seed. If they win, you are the 6 seed and going probably to Philly, I guess, is probably the thing, but we'll see. We'll talk about that actually right now. Let's get into the Week 18 Ps with PJ. This is going to be quick. Listen, the one thing I want to tell everybody if you're listening to this is Week 18 is so tough to pick because there are games that matter nothing to anyone. Even incentives. There's not a lot of juicy incentives out there that are really like making me go, oh my God, this guy's going to really try to have a good game. Because a lot of these incentives are tied to guys that are in the playoffs, and I just think some of these teams are going to decide that, like, hey, him getting, 6 more catches ain't going to affect me too much. So let's start it off with one of the teams that sent some people, one team that was, or a game that was tough to call. Green Bay Packers visiting the Minnesota Vikings. You have Clayton Tune, I believe, starting for you at Green Bay. Minnesota, you have J.J. McCarthy coming back from a hairline fracture in his hand. Supposedly he's done really great on getting rehab from that. I have no way to call this, guys. I think Brian Flores is going to make a good resume builder because wherever he goes, if he stays in Minnesota, if he, I'm hearing Dallas is aiming at him kind of hard to be their next defensive coordinator. Brian Flores is going to pad his resume, and I think he's going to take care of business against a third-string quarterback. So I will take Minnesota. I will take Minnesota minus the 10.5, and I will go under 46.5. I just think that Minnesota's been playing the spoiler these last couple weeks. I think they'll continue to play the spoiler, and Green Bay is just getting ready to play whoever they got next week. They're just trying to get healthy. So they're just trying to, get out of this game as fast as possible. Next up, Tennessee Titans visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars 13.5-point favorites in this one. Listen, Jacksonville is on a tear right now. Jacksonville needs to win to make sure that, because if Houston wins, I think that Houston would become the AFC South winner. So I think Jacksonville wants to keep the pressure on. Plus, let's just say it, New England and Denver lose, you're possible to be the number 1 seed. I still think that they have a chance at an outside chance. Could be wrong. But listen, I think Jacksonville has plenty to fight for in this game. I know Tennessee's been playing better ball lately. Doesn't matter. Jacksonville's going to put this one on. Jacksonville minus a 13.5 and give me over 47.5. I think Jacksonville's going to keep this train rolling and keep the offense on a high-powered rocket. Okay, Indianapolis Colts and Riley Leonard visiting the Houston Texans. Really first career start for a former Irishman. Listen, I got no good hopes for the Colts here. I mean, I think that's what they're basically saying. Hey, here's a white flag. We're waving it. Sorry, we're not even going to start Phillip Rivers in this game. Texans defense is legit. It's going to take care of business in this game too. So I'm going Houston. Houston minus the 10.5. Give me under 39.5. I can't see the Colts doing much. I really just can't. All right, next up, Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants. One of those games that basically has no playoff teams involved. So who the heck cares? Who's going to know what's going to happen? Did the Giants empty their, take care of business last week and that was all they had in their bucket for wins? I don't know. Dallas, they've been fighting a little harder lately too. Listen, it's a coin flip. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Dallas. I'll take Dallas because I think Dallas's offense is better. I think the Giants have, there's too much turmoil on who's going to be the coach next year. Is Joe Shane staying around? I think Dallas has a few less question marks, if you will, than the New York Giants, and I think that will give them a little bit more stability to win this game. Dallas minus 3.5. Give me over 49.5. Cleveland Browns versus Cincinnati Bengals, another playoff list matchup. Listen, the main thing is Cincinnati has a hard time with this Cleveland defense. I'm going to take Cincinnati win, but Cleveland to cover the 7.5. Plus 7.5 for Cleveland. Under 46.5. Listen, I know it's Joe Burrow, but I think Myles Garrett gets a sack record today, by the way, too. I think that's the most storyline coming out of this game. Next up, New Orleans versus Atlanta, like I aforementioned a little bit earlier. Okay, New Orleans wins, and Tampa Bay gets into the playoffs. Atlanta wins, Carolina gets into the playoffs. So there is something to do with the playoffs in this game, just not for either one of these teams. Listen, I like what New Orleans has been doing, so I'm going New Orleans on this one. I'm going New Orleans plus the 3.5 and give me over 43.5. This is a total Atlanta Falcons thing to do is, hey, we just won a big game. Now let's go blow it the next game. So just get ready. And I think there's going to be a lot of changes in Atlanta, by the way, too. I think you get ready. I think Cleveland's going to have a change of coach. I think Atlanta's going to probably have a change of coach. There's a few more that I'm going to mention, too. But Dallas, I think, is definitely getting a new defensive coordinator. I think Eberflus is out there, by the way. Miami Dolphins visiting the New England Patriots. This one's tough for me. New England, of course, has something to fight for a little bit, but I just think that New England's going to play its starters at first, and then I think they're going to take the foot off their gas. So I will say New England will win. I think Miami will cover the 12.5 and give me over 45.5 just because. I don't know. It's good. Like, once these second stringers and third stringers start getting in, it starts to become, you don't know who's going to play well because we don't see these guys. So we'll have to kind of see, but I think Miami will keep the 12.5 closer. Arizona Cardinals visiting Los Angeles Rams. Rams have something to fight for in this game. Win and you stay the 5th seed. And I think they want to go play either Tampa Bay or Carolina over going to Philadelphia. So I think LA has plenty to fight for here. LA Rams minus 13.5. Give me over 47.5 in that game. Detroit versus Chicago. Actually, I am going to this game today, Bears fans, so bear down. Detroit Lions. This is a tough position. You haven't been in this one for a couple years, the Lions. You're not going to the playoffs. I think the Lions will come out at first and have some fight in them. I do. The Bears have something to fight for in this game. They want to secure the number 2 seed. Yes, I know Caleb Williams is so many yards from 4,000-yard passer. It would be cool to see. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll have to see. I think that the Bears, as soon as they can start getting this offense rolling against this Detroit Lions defense that is definitely has had some problems as of late. I think once that starts to happen, if the Bears start to stack up points, I think that's when the Lions start phoning it in. I think they know. I think they're like, hey, Cancun's right around the corner. We'll get him again next year. Why am I fighting so hard in this game? So give me the Bears. Give me the Bears minus a 3.5 and give me under 50.5. Because I do think later in the game, I think you're going to start to kind of see some second stringers in from both sides on this one. Next up, Washington Commanders visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles starting Tanner McGee. I don't know how many. I mean, once you go to a backup quarterback, I'm sure that the first stringers on the other positions are not staying in too long. Tough game to pick because Washington is really not playing that well either, and I think they want their season to be over. I think the stability of how good the Eagles defense is I'll give it to the Eagles on this one. So Eagles minus 4.5, and give me under 38.5, just because I don't know what's going to happen in this game. Next up, New York Jets visiting the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills are going to be starting Mitch Trubisky in this game. The Jets, I don't think it matters who they start in this game. They want this season to be over. Do I think Aaron Glenn is a one and done? Yeah, he could be. He could be. If they get waxed this game, I think Woody Johnson might get a little antsy, which I don't think is right for Aaron Glenn, by the way. I don't think that would be right for Aaron Glenn, and I think it would be a really crappy thing for him to get this head coaching position and get, barely zero shot because your starting quarterback was Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor and their third string quarterback all year. No, I don't think it's right. But I do think it could happen. I absolutely do think it could happen. I don't want it to happen, but I do. I think the Jets will get waxed in this game still, too. I know it's a Buffalo's backups. Listen, Trubisky's a serviceable backup. And the Jets are it's a disaster. It's a disaster. So Buffalo minus the 7.5. Give me under 37.5. All right. A couple other ones to mention there, too. Arizona, I think, will probably be looking for a new coach as well. So, next up, Kansas City versus Las Vegas Raiders. Oh my gosh. This is another one that, no playoff teams, no nothing. We got backup quarterbacks galore. Who's going to want to win? I think that the Raiders want to keep the number one pick. I don't think they're in danger of that even if they win. I'll take Kansas City to win, Las Vegas to cover the 4.5, and give me the under 36.5. I think this is like a 13-10 game for sure. For sure. Next up, Los Angeles Chargers versus Denver Broncos. Listen, I'm going to take Denver to win because the Los Angeles Chargers are not going to be playing their starters. Justin Herbert's going to sit to get some rest. Trey Lance is going to be in there. I do think the Chargers are going to cover the 14. 14 is a lot of points, and I know you're not starting your starters, but my goodness. I guess is Denver going to start putting in their backups? Maybe. Tate did have one note for me that this game will be a squeaky win, close win for the Denver Broncos on this one. He still thinks, as he said in his notes, Denver Broncos are frauds. That's not my saying. That is Tate's saying, so we'll go from there. Listen, I like Denver to win. Chargers to cover. Give me over 38.5, all right? Very finally, tonight, Baltimore Ravens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lamar Jackson is playing. TJ Watt looks like he's playing after having a collapsed lung from, as Mike Florio likes to call it, Dr. Needle. Okay, here's the thing. This is such a trivial, big game in the way of how many things are going to break out after this. And that's what I wanted to kind of say. This, what kind of seems like it might be trivial, might not be, okay? And in that way is, if the Baltimore Ravens win, they win the division, John Harbaugh keeps his job, even if I think they don't win a playoff game, okay? But, reverse side, Pittsburgh Steelers, if they win, I think Mike Tomlin will keep his job. I think Mike Tomlin will stay around. They might have enough to keep on going. Maybe Rodgers comes back. All right. If, let's just say Baltimore loses then, John Harbaugh, it's an easy question to ask. I don't know. Does he stay? I think he deserves to stay, absolutely. But is it the point of that? Does he still want to be there? Okay, now here's the other question. We talked about it the other day. Lamar Jackson. Does he stay? Now, his contract is not an easily offloadable contract. Do I think that the Ravens will trade him? I think the percentage chances are under 50 right now. But do I think that they'll listen to offers? Absolutely. Will a team blow him away? I don't know. Does some team favor Lamar Jackson so much that they'll give the Ravens a humongous package for him? Maybe. Is it that, I know he's talked because he's from Miami going to Miami. Well, Miami's got to deal with the Tua contract right now. I don't think they're just going to swap contracts, by the way. I don't think the Ravens are in that kind of mode. So that's a question. All right, reverse side, Pittsburgh loses. Okay, Mike Tomlin, does he move on? I think he does. Is it the TV? Is it another coaching job? Something is stagnant there. Okay, something is stagnant there in Pittsburgh. If Mike Tomlin leaves, I think Aaron Rodgers is gone. I don't think he comes back, because I think if Tomlin stays, I think Rodgers would come back. Do you want Rodgers back? I don't know. Maybe, yes. I mean, he's done enough for you this year. It breaks down to this in this game. Who do I trust more? And I think I trust, and it's really tough to say this, but I think I trust Baltimore more in this game to win this game and to have a more steady future. There's more offensive talent on Baltimore, and that's at the end of the day what's going to sway me. The problem that I have with Pittsburgh right now is without DK Metcalf, who's going to blow the top off of your not to mention that, I know Rodgers doesn't necessarily blow the top off of the offense or defenses all the time anymore anyways, but I think if the Ravens could just settle down, stop that run game, much like the Cleveland Browns did last week, and then just go, okay, Rodgers, throw it, give me those 5-yard passes. We'll take those all day. I'm going to go Baltimore. Baltimore minus the 3.5. Give me over 40.5. All right, guys. That does it for Week 18 Peas with PJ. Stay tuned. We're going to, have reaction show for you this week, as well as we're going to talk about the upcoming playoffs and the matches coming on up. We're really excited. But thanks for joining us on Just a Couple Guys Talking Football. But we are out.